Once you've successfully bound your receiver to your 9X radio, you must remember always then to take out the bind plug before you start it up. So once you've bound it, take your bind plug out, okay, and take that away, because if you leave it in there, the system won't work. Okay, so we now have our Turnigy receiver bound to our RC5HL. Now this is the way it should work. So if you've got your system, first thing from me, you should turn your radio on. Okay, now let's have a look at this screen. This screen's very important. The thing I love about the 9X is this screen. This gives you all the information. This should let you know exactly if you're having a problem, what's going wrong. When you turn your radio on, this is the type of screen you should see. You should see absolutely no bars in this first column and no bars in this top column on this, top row in this second column. You might see two bars here. This bar here represents channel 6, and that I have programmed as a volume control. So if you can see that bar move, very hard to do that. See, I'm turning the pot, it will adjust the volume on your tank if you have a Viper or something like that fitted. Okay, so you don't need to worry about these two bars. Most important bars, the first five, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, should be nothing across there. Now, let's just double check if everything's working correctly. If everything's working correctly, the steering is on the first bar. So if we move this stick, okay, now that is correct. That is what we should see. Moving the right stick from left to right, we'll only see bars appearing on the first row. If you see bars appearing anywhere else, something is wrong, you need to fix it. The throttle is on channel 2, which is the second bar down. So up and down on the throttle, I'll move that one across. So we just try and just go up and down on the throttle only. Very hard to manipulate this, but that's correct. So we're only seeing throttle movement. Okay. Your turret controls are on the left stick. Okay. Gun elevation. We come down, up. Okay, so that's on the third column. That's all good. Turret rotation is channel 4. So there, that's perfect. Okay, now for the 5HL, the switching channel is channel 5. Now it must be at neutral, which is where it is now, which means that when you turn your radio on, you must have this 3-position switch in the middle. To turn your tank on, you should see the bar move from the center to there. There we go. That is the only way you'll turn your tank on with the RC5HL. Now, you must remember once it's there to bring it back to neutral. Okay, that is the turn on procedure. Leaving it like that will cause your tank to turn off. So once you've turned your tank on, you must bring the switch back to normal. Okay, so on, shut down, again, is the second time we'll shut it down. If you have some relays fitted to turn your headlight on and off, down. See how it's moved to this side. So if you understand, get around to putting some relays, that controls your headlight. Okay, so they're the main switches on your tank. You'll notice, okay, actually we'll go through the others. Machine gun, okay, is set to this switch here, and you'll see that operate on channel 3. So as I flick this switch, you'll see channel 3 go to full. Okay, that triggers your machine gun. Now triggering your cannon is on this switch here, and again, since the machine gun went to this side, the cannon will go to this side. Okay. Now you'll also notice there's been movement on channel 7. Now that's set up for a recoil servo. So typically it's a short flick on the back switch, and you'll see how that channel 7 moved up rapidly to draw your recoil back quickly, and then returns slower. So it's a fast recoil, recoil back and slow return to the firing position on channel 7. Okay, so your radio must be responding like that for your RC5HL to work. So now we're ready to turn our tank on. We'll just make sure I'm not speaking a lot of rubbish. We'll turn our tank on. Now, you must wait for this light here on your RC5HL to come on. Once that is on, the RC5HL is calibrated and the system's ready for ignition. So, as I said, that switch there, up and back. And there we have ignition of our tank. If everything is working as it should be as easy as that with your RC5HL. And we'll just check forward motion, reverse, machine gun fire, and cannon fire. Okay, so that should be, well, that's how the system works. So we'll stop the video here. And next up we'll look at some basic troubleshooting, making sure that all these settings are correct.